What's up, everybody? It's D's Bro. Got a reaction, okay? Let's react another Jesse Lee Peterson. Um, Socialist Justice Advocate. Um, yeah, this is ends interview. So probably has to get mad at something bit about Jesse Lee Peterson. He really being in somebody's skin. I'm gonna live this way. A little bit somebody's skin and all that. So let's go straight into it. All right. We all know that Jesse Lee Peterson, he does a lot of real stuff right there. That's like some facts, but at the same time, he will troll you, and if you can't take it, I said it all the time, you're gonna get mad, irritated, can't take it, all that kind of stuff. So, who likes Jesse Lee Peterson? Do you like him? You don't like him, or you don't really care, or whatever? Just hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think about it. All right, let's go straight into it now.
2 seconds ago, you were saying unless black children are raised by a decent mom and dad who are married.
That's true, because when I was growing up, black people were like a decent people then, and so they respected the order. They got married.
What year did you grow up, sir?
I'm 72.
Are you a baby boomer?
I'm 72 right now.
Part of the boomer group. Okay, so you're part of the last Jim Crow generation, right?
And
you grew up doing Jim Crow,
under the
and I think your whole generation needs some counseling. Y'all grew up doing Jim Crow.
I grew up under the Jim Crow law, and black people were better off then because they loved God and they respected the order. If a black woman got pregnant out of wedlock, it was an embarrassment to the family. She would have to have a shotgun with her, go in the house. But black people are not more like that anymore. They're just crazy. They are blaming and begging and whining and trying to take from the white people. And I'm surprised to see the blacks act that way because they were more independent.
The blacks, because you know you're black too. When you're talking about the blacks, I think Mr. Jesse Lee Peterson, as someone who grew up during the Jim Crow generation, I am not sure what it is that you are basing your belief on, in terms of talking about morality, in terms of talking about how black people were better off then. I think that we've had some difficult periods within our community, and I would definitely argue that Jim Crow was a difficult time for
No, it wasn't.
folks.
It was not.
The terror. Yes, it was. Because all the research shows it was. I'm saying my own father. I should get my father on the phone to talk to you, because I think perhaps you are not remembering.
In the good old days.
One thing though, she didn't live inside Jim Crow law, right? And he did. But let's think about it though. Even though, yes, because there was some things you couldn't do inside the South. Of course, we know right there from the history. But let's think about it though. Like, used to go people like two parents, mom and dad was together, and then crime wasn't as big how it was, and all that kind of stuff, man. But as long as they I'm talking about not just them, for like all the different kind of races, or a different race, they let people to do more things. But I mean, it was good. But some people, it's like Democrats' place and all that kind of stuff. They kind of just stop trying to stop people, in my opinion, and welfare and other things like that, and getting free houses, or get houses and stuff, and not having with your father in the house, or get a check and all that kind of stuff. It's not just with black, that's for everybody too, for Hispanic, for Asians. I mean, it's not as big as blacks and whites and all that, but it goes for everybody else too. Like, I know people that my other side of my family, they live in that like welfare and free shit like that. I never liked that, but hey, man, let's keep going. But now, let's think about after, crack started right there in like the 80s and 90s. That thing was crazy. I was young when crack was still there. When I was young in the 90s, it was still popping, but I guess it was crazy in the 80s. And now we was kind of slowed down and everything for all that kind of stuff. But now, the last 3 years have been going pretty crazy. It's been banana crazy, man. Like, people, it's like freaking, I mean, I'm talking about for everybody, man. It's just, I don't even know. It just came out from nothing. All the Black Lives Matter, like all those little riots and stuff, and other stuff, the kind of stuff, and all those other different kind of other things. It's just been crazy to me. I just don't know why people are so sensitive and people get all mad or just don't understand. You know why? Because most of the people, they don't think when they do something. You have to think. A lot of people, it's hard to have a conversation with people now when people don't even think before they do something. They don't think about their actions. And then when something happens, they're like, oh, man, I didn't think. I'm like, dude, you're stupid, man.
Jim Crow existed. The black people knew that it was the Democratic Party. The Jim Crow law was about keeping blacks out of the Democratic Party, and that all white people were not against black people. And as a result, the blacks and the whites started the Republican Party because the Jim Crow Democratic Party did not want the blacks to be a part of it. Do you believe that racism exists?
Okay, so let me start here, Mr. Peterson, because I think that you are confused, and perhaps you're conflating things to fit whatever.
Maybe you are, though, because how do you understand with that, though? It's like, just going to start with that, you're confused? Like, she lived that life inside that place. She didn't. We know she didn't. And then I have, like, let's keep going.
Whatever narrative that you have. You started off with, it's like, until black people come back to God. And before that, it was blacks are wild and out of control. And now it's about, what's happening in the Democratic Party. Are you a Republican? Do you believe there's racism? I think that you and I probably will not be able to agree. I find your comments quite inflammatory.
What do you mean by that?
And almost, I think that you're saying these things to get
Oh, they're not true, though, what I'm saying.
I cannot believe, as someone who has grown up under this American regime, who saw firsthand the impact of Jim Crow on the lives and the psyche and the emotional state of black folks, someone who has seen with
but that's made up history. That's a rewriting of history. That's not true.
No, there's no rewriting of history. That's not what we're talking about. We're not rewriting history. I said, as someone who grew up under Jim Crow, which you did, as someone who was able to see the state and condition of black folks in this country under Jim Crow, which you
I did not. No, that's not true.
You did. You cannot tell me that. So you never watched TV. You never read the newspaper. You never.
A lot of stuff now beside the newspapers and other stuff in that kind of way. There's always some, like, it's kind of just trying to push you in your face about kind of like some half the time is a fake, and people just believe it so much, and people get you all pumped up mad about nothing. So
had any sense of what happened, because you were growing up under this time. You never heard about lynchings. You never heard about Emmett Till. You never heard about the Civil Rights Movement. You never heard about the assassination of Dr. King. You never heard about the assassination of Malcolm X. You never heard about the assassination of Medgar Evers. You never heard about any of that.
I heard of those things.
You never heard of any of that, then that's a problem.
I heard of those things, but it's nothing like what the blacks are pretending that it was. It looked like the blacks are using it for personal gain. So I want to ask you.
Using the civil rights movement for personal gain?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we use the civil rights movement for personal gain?
The worst thing that ever happened to the blacks were the civil rights movement.
The worst
when they did that,
the worst thing that ever happened to black people was the civil rights.
Right, because let me tell you why. What the blacks did was prior to the.
Yeah, I mean, you see all those kind of fakes they did right there, the civil rights movement still, because was it Parker? Was it Parker? Yeah, the girl right there that she wanted to be on the bus, like on the front of the bus, and she said no, and like. When you're young, they try to say, oh, because she was tired and blah, blah, blah. But really, you really found out, I guess, 2-3 years before, a girl that was 15 years old, she was, a black girl, she was pregnant. I forgot his name, but if I do it, I'll put the little picture right here. But I guess she was 15, 16 years old. She was pregnant. No, she wasn't pregnant. She wasn't married or anything. And I guess a lot of people inside the community right there in Alabama, they wasn't cool about it because they didn't believe of people that have a baby or something without getting married. And that's why it went 3 years later, they set it up to do it, to start the civil rights movement. That's what I mean. I was just watching like all these documentaries and stuff about it. It's very interesting to see, and it's a fact though about it too. I'm like, damn, I didn't really know about that kind of stuff. You know, because you go to school and they tell you about the kind of stuff, and now you know, like, damn, it's fake, man. Shoot.
The civil rights movement, they didn't have a leader over them. God was their leader, and the parents were the leader of their children. But what the blacks did, they allowed Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all those guys to become their leaders, and so they sold them to the Democratic Party for the vote and agreeing that they would be the black folks' leader. But blacks never had leaders before those votes. But I got to ask you this.
Never had leaders before. I mean, the fact that you, in naming the leaders, you said
they're the black people leaders as a result of the civil rights movement.
No, not the black. There were a number of black people who were leading. I'm thinking of Dorothy Ahide, who led the National Council of Negro Women. I'm thinking of Ella Baker, who helped to organize.
Why are black people so weak? They need leaders. Why are they so weak? They need a leader.
Okay, Mr. Peterson, I think that we have reached an end. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
She just can't take, like, just because there's some stuff that he's saying, though, that I'm not going to say all of it, but there's some stuff he has a point right there, and she just one ear out the other, you know? I mean, she just like, blah, 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 no, you don't understand. Like, bruh, how do you know? You need counsel. You need everything. You need this, you need that. Your people are messed up inside your generations and stuff. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, man. How you going to say all this stuff to person right there? Like, he's the one that's chill right now. You're the one getting all mad at the conversation right here for this one-on-one. So, damn, that's crazy.
I do not think we're going to agree, and I am very concerned about the things you're saying. But I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, but I think I'm going to discontinue.
Will you at least do my hot seat before you go? I have a hot seat.
What's the hot seat?
I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible. Okay?
I would say he's gonna say one thing hecka crazy, and they're gonna be like, "Hell no!" She's gonna be like, "Bye." I can see he's gonna say something.
True or false? Black people always late.
I told you. Look at her face. She's like, "F this."
Okay, goodbye.
I told
Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson.
That must be a yes. Amazing. She put a tail between her legs and ran. What the? That was Dr. Kay Whitehead, Associate Professor of Communication and African American Study at Miramar, University of Miramar. If y'all see her running down the road, ask her why did she run.
Go see her in the road. Go see her right there.
But she gone now. I ain't using prayer for her no more. She gone.
He said, why is black people late? That is so funny, man. Oh man, hey, you know what's hella funny though, man? Because look, like I already told you, if you never seen this inside my channel right now, I am mixed. I'm Mexican. Well, my mom's Mexican Filipino, and my father, he's half white, and then the other half it's Mexican Native American. But yeah, when you go right there to the Filipino side, okay, they always say from Filipinos right there, like, oh, Filipinos are always late into parties. It's kind of like the same thing too, man. Everything growing up, like, oh, like you know, my grandpa and my grandma both half Mexican, half Filipino. And if I go to my mom, my uncle, my aunts, he's right there for his brothers and my mom's brothers and sisters. It's like every time we go to a party, my mom is always the first one. She's like the first for them three. She's the oldest. So we always a little early into a party. My auntie's right on time. Then my uncle, he's always late, like a good hour or two. He's always late. We always say, man, he's always late, man. Always on that Filipino time, just like other people saying that stuff too. We're like, oh man, you're on that black time, you know. Everybody say the same thing, you know, for other things, and this is freaking hilarious though to me when they're always late or something like that. It's like when going to like a meeting, get there like go late for a meeting. Like, man, what's the matter with you, Unc? I ain't doing no more though, but you know what I mean. It's just people like that. I think I have family that be late. Always late sometimes. Like, dude, the party starts at 2. You get there at 4 or 5. It's almost done now. It's a little kids one. Oh man, gotta take a nap. We gotta take a nap. All right, man. It's hilarious, though. But all right, man. Hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think that he's right, he's wrong? Or do you think she's right, she's wrong? Or what? Or you think she's in the middle? Or you think that she just got emotional for nothing? She just can't take a conversation because she's not taking it. She just don't like it inside her side. What? Just because she want him to believe or to agree? Just because they're both black or something? Or whatever. Tell me what you think right there inside the comments, man. Even in the comments. Like, subscribe, show love. Alright, man. It's D's World. Peace.